There are three parts of the product page. The first part is for material items, which includes anything made of tangible material that is associated with the simulated product. As an example, in a pair of shoes, we would have the soles, the upper portions, the heels, the buckles, and even the box that the shoes are shipped in. The list is basically anything that ships with the shoes. The net sales price is the amount the company expects to receive for each pair of the shoes when sold. I will create a list that includes everything necessary to ship to a customer along with the cost for each item. This becomes your material list. Estimate for now. As you become familiar with the process, the accuracy of your list will improve. The second section of this page is the process part of the list, meaning things associated with each product to be sold, but does not include material. An example is shipping cost. The box over here is material, but the shipping cost here is process. Let's continue entering items that would be considered process as opposed to material. In this scenario, a contract manufacturer will assemble the shoes and charge a fee for each pair. If the shoes were sold on the internet, credit card charges to your merchant account would be considered a process. Process is another way of saying anything non-material attached with the shipment or sale of each product. Even a sales commission could be listed. In a factory situation, specific labor associated with each product could also be listed. The result of the process and the material cost added together is commonly known as cost of goods sold. In this application, we usually refer to it as the variable costs. There are some businesses, especially services, that do not have variable costs, COGS, as they're sometimes called, at all. An example could be a psychologist or a consultant. The psychologist has a session, so we can put in the session price, but there is no material or process cost. We can leave the rest blank and move on. Remember, should your simulated business fit this category, enter the session price in the net sale price cell and tab to the next page. Entries made on any page can be edited anytime during the simulation. Therefore, feel free to experiment. Some situations call for different versions of the product or service. Use different names for each variation. Use up to 4 during one simulation. This choice is selected from the first dialog form when you start a new project. The principle also applies to a service company. Let's say the psychologist has a standard price of $150 per session. However, for low-income families, the therapist has a discounted price of $80 per session. Now, both types of products or sessions can be modeled simultaneously. In the case of the shoes example, you could also have more than one price or situation. The same pair of shoes could be sold on the internet as well as a department store for a discount. Let's say the internet sale is $100 and the department store is sold at a discount or wholesale for $60. The first product variation could be named Internet and the other Department Store. We can copy the cost of the second variation and then delete items that will not be included in the department store sale, such as credit card charges and shipping costs to the end user. Notice that the variable costs and the gross margin are now different for each situation, even though the product is the same. The third section is for the first material purchase. And the amount purchase depends on how much inventory you want to carry. The initial inventory purchase is like a shopping list. All you have to do is fill out how many of each item you plan to buy for the first deliveries of your product. Make sure you select a month and a year when you think the initial material purchase will occur. That way the cash flow is adjusted. The number of units you enter depends on how much product you plan to ship in the first month or so. It's best to complete this shopping list after you've done your forecast. For most products, you can figure a month or two worth of material to get started. Once the initial purchase takes place, the program keeps track of your inventory for you automatically.